Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my wonderful and beautiful little lovelies out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delish, and that life is treating you most deliciously, beetle. Okay, my delicious babies, and I hope that we're feeling the love. We continue to feel the love, my little honey bunnies. Now then, so what's the time, Mr. Wolf? So it's almost 10 a.m. in our old England, my delicious babies, and it has been. If it's raining, it's raining. So yesterday night, yesterday evening, sorry, late evening, and throughout the night, it has been raining. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that will be a joy to many, as it is going to help their flowers and bushes and grass, and I'm pretty sure it helps the trees as well. Okay, my delicious babies. Now then. Sorry, excuse me. I have two videos for you today, my delicious babies, and I hope that wherever you are in the world, that life is treating you most deliciously, my little lovelies. Now then, so we'll go for the first one. Now, I'm not talking to our delicious little lovelies out there who already have seen this video. This goes back to 2007. I'm talking to our delicious little lovelies out there who have not. So, with anybody not in that way, not in that way. This uploader happens to have 8.3 thousand subscribers, my delicious little babies. And the uploader is called capital T, uh, then M, capital M, mighty, and then capital K, kappa, with two P's. Okay, my delicious little babies. So three words together, the mighty kappa. Okay, so I'll spell that for you. Kappa. Okay, my delicious little babies. This video here is about 20 minutes long. Okay, my delicious little babies, and the video should read: in 2007, Elon Musk predicted everything. In brackets, rare lost video. Okay, my delicious little babies, so I'm just going to repeat this again for you. In 2007, Elon Musk predicted everything, in brackets, rare lost video. Okay, my delicious babies, the sun has got his head on. Hip, 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 hooray. Okay, so yeah, so what he's talking about, what your man here now then, who's doing the interview to Elon Musk, he's asking him questions, how, he talks about his, to do with a few businesses and so forth. And then, of course, they cover just a tiny bit, just ask about PayPal, then ask about space. Um, but it appears that, Elon Musk says rather a lot in 20 minutes. But like I just said, I'm not talking to any of our delicious little lovelies who already know about this video. I've personally, there we are, seen it once before, but as I was scrolling and scrolling, I completely forgot about it. Yeah, it's come up. Okay. So I just thought, you know what? It's by the way, it never come up on my feed. Okay. But yes, okay. So for ones out there, because as we know, Elon Musk has Twitter. See, I do not class it as X. Okay. Myself personally, I just find that to be a very silly name. Of course, we know what is behind it. There we are, and why one's there goes a beetle again. We know why, uh, somebody would call it X, okay, my delicious babies, mind you, for a number out there, so I'm not laughing about it, there's nothing funny to laugh about, but for many ones who have become X's in our world, my delicious babies, over these years, I'm pretty sure that they don't want to be reminded of it, going onto a platform, you know what I mean? I thought that for a long time, there we are, my delicious babies, you know what I mean? So yeah, because it is, isn't it? So if you break up with somebody, well, what are you? You're an ex, aren't you? or they're an ex. You know, that's another way of, but that would be spelt EX, wouldn't it? X. You know what I mean? My delicious babies. So, you know, two weird. Now then, my delicious babies. So, the final video for today, then I'm going to be over and out, okay? This is capital H, Hillside, then space, capital C, College. So Hillside Space College, that's the uploader. This uploader happens to have 746,000 subscribers. This video is just over 40 minutes long, and the video should read how Big Pharma poisoned America Gerald Posner. Okay, my delicious babies, so I'm just going to repeat this again for you. How Big Pharma poisoned America Gerald Posner. Okay, my delicious babies, so what is this about? What is this about? Let's close my book. We need to go backwards. So this is an archive from 2023. This video does show, you know, black and white, the old black and white photographs and everything. And it gives you like a little breakdown, okay? Now, me personally, I haven't seen any of the videos on this channel, but I just thought I would, there we are, bring it up. And once again, I'm not going to talk to anybody who our delicious little lovelies who already know about all of this. I'm talking to our delicious little lovelies who may not know about this, okay? But a very interesting video to take a look at. Out of the two videos that I've advertised today, I would certainly say that last one that I've just advertised would be, there we are, of great interest to many, I should imagine. Okay, my delicious babies, and that's all my videos for today. I do not really, well, to be fair, there we are. I have lots to talk about, my delicious babies, but I'm simple things. I'm just choosing not to, okay? As I do have, there we are, other things to do, and I need to have some breakfast, okay? Sometimes I get hungry, sometimes I do not. Howdies. Okay, my delicious babies. So, yeah. So, not much to say today because I do not feel really in the mood to say it, okay? Sometimes looking at videos, there we are, can be most draining, okay? I look at my regular videos that I enjoy listening to with the regular uploaders, and it's always a joy and a pleasure to listen to them, okay? However, when you're doing this, which I do, as I've pointed out many times before, I do it as a hobby. Sometimes it can be, as much as I enjoy what I do, it can also be a little bit tiring sometimes, okay? So I find myself sometimes scrolling past, sometimes I may click on it and think, no, that's not going to be, you know, as interesting to some, because not everybody's going to want to, not meaning this in the wrong sense of the word, mentally engage, you know, with the video that I'm advertising, and others, maybe their ears will prick up, you know what I mean, my delicious babies. So it sort of goes like that, do you know what I mean, my delicious babies. But for myself, I just like to, shall we say, not let anybody forget what took place, especially around between 2000, well, I would have said 2000, there we are, and 17. Okay, my delicious babies, I've been saying that, there we are, long time. Of course, you will get the occasional over these years who too will mention the 2017. Well, I never needed to look at any videos to tell myself about 2017 because I happen to remember it, there we are, very, very well. Okay, and I also remember that whatever was being put out made myself feel very poorly, okay, and I am truly blessed and let it continue. So thank you to my beautiful dear angels, my beautiful dear creator, okay? Um, that I do not feel very well very often. Usually I'm always, there we are, super duper well, and for that I'm blessed, okay? But I remember 2017, there we are, extremely well, okay? And thankfully I did manage, there we are, to get better, okay? But this did go on for a few weeks, okay? My delicious babies, so whatever was in my system clearly should not have been in my system, okay? This was not through myself doing anything. This was through something coming from somewhere, there we are, from somewhere else, my delicious babies. So for that reason, I would have said that, but for most, maybe for most in their noddles, unless you've got ones who've been looking into this long time, you will find that most will remember between, you know, uh, 2020, 2020, and I would have said 2022. Okay, so most will remember around that time. Okay, my delicious babies. And I just, like I just said, I like to just, there we are, remind ones. I'm not talking about everybody because there are plenty out there who are reminding mankind out there about what has very sadly gone on. Okay, my delicious babies. But the only way that anybody can put change and make changes to this is when one's number one. I'm not saying that if somebody's very poorly, that maybe they shouldn't have, I mean, some medications, have helped some mankind. But I genuinely feel that if one's went back into natural therapies, of course, you can do this with natural healing, you can do it with um, foods, you can do it with, there we are, juices. There are lots of things now then that ones can do um, to make themselves, shall we say, feel better inside of themselves, okay? But while they're just given pop a pill, that is, I do not feel really, really helping the problem, okay? So for myself, I've just been blessed, like I said, not to be poorly very often. I did used to suffer here. I'm going back decades ago. I went through a terrible stage here. Um, and when it was most severe, I did have to take penicillin. And I will say, my delicious babies, it did help myself. But I am talking about myself. But I was only on it for a very, very short time. Okay, my delicious babies. So what we're talking about here is stronger medication, way, 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 way stronger, and medication that is not so good for ones. Plus the fact, how many times the one's been given the wrong, where they've turned around and said, oh yes, well, instead of taking something for a week, you're taking it for flipping X amount of months, whatever o'clock, and for some it's run into years. But of course, who is benefiting from this? And, when we look at how many have got to positions over the decades, this is nothing new to myself. It's just I just wanted you to please and thank you, just a little bit of time out of somebody's day or night. Just take a look at the video. But this is nothing new to myself. But how many through doing all these things like doctors and nurses and all this jazz, okay, my delicious babies, how much ka-ching have they made, from, I feel, not helping mankind, okay, my delicious babies. And I will also include there vets as well, the veterinary world, okay, my delicious babies, because remember, that's around the 2020 and the 2022, don't we, my delicious little babies? So we remember there we are a lot, don't we, my delicious little babies? So no, I'm never going to let this go. And that doesn't mean, yes, I'm never going to let it go. As tiring sometimes as it can be, I'm never going to let it go. Because when I see what has happened to ones, our beautiful dear little babies who we call our sons and daughters, not to mention in the zoos and in the wild, you know, and everything what goes on, the putrid things now that go on in the wild, okay? We must also remember other things now, you know, as well as mankind, which of course I genuinely feel we are all important, okay? And of course, some little animals are very sadly in the hands of what I call nutty professors over the decades, my delicious little babies. You see what I mean? Mentally, they seem to think differently. It appears there seems to be a man with a clipboard. He comes round every so often, and it appears going to different ones' homes. You know, he's got a clipboard and a list. You see him, I think, the woman there, I think, because she's scrolling, she's obviously the driver. She's obviously waiting for him to do his rounds. You know what I mean? My delicious little babies, yes. So this is not the first or second time I've seen your man here now then. Okay? Makes me wonder what he's going around for. He doesn't strike me as somebody who's like a bailiff or something. So he's clearly here. There we are, for a different reason. Isn't he, my delicious little babies? Yes. Anyway, so that's the end of my video. So whether it's morning, afternoon or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony and bright blessings to each and every one of you. May your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected, and how I love you so. You're super duper wonderful, super duper delish, and I love you. Okay, so until my next video, you just please and thank you, look after now, okay? When I come on my videos, I like to feel that there we are with each and every video that I'm giving out a message, I'm giving out food for thought, and if some, you know, will find my videos offensive, well, simple thing, just move from a channel, and maybe somebody else who can get valuable information, there we are, will respect my video. Okay, or any of my videos for that matter, you know what I mean? Because I do not need negativity. What I like to use is, there we are, a positive mental attitude that somehow, there we are, we will make, there we are, positive change in this world, my delicious little babies. But it requires hard work. You know, you do not get anywhere without hard work, do you, my delicious little babies? But I'm talking about this hard work. I'm not talking about hard work, so, you know, so that you get to a certain point and then somebody notices you, and then, of course, it's made an awful lot easier because of ka-ching, ching, 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 ching. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the other delicious little babies, okay? So you just please look after yourselves now. Once again, thank you for any views, for any likes, and for the occasional comments. I do say that on my videos, okay? And how I love you so. Look after, take care. Thank you once again for listening. Goodbye.